because, I always feel like I'm right up on the edge of my unconsciousness, like it feels to me, and just from my observation of working with lots of people over the years, and these are just kind of, you know, concepts I've kind of, it's like an idea just to package this, but it feels like, we all seem to have a quota of unconsciousness that we decide we're going to take on. So it's almost like, we're having these big blocks of ice, or let's say ice because it melts. That's a good way of thinking about it. So like, oh yeah, I'll take this much unconsciousness, and all the way through my life, I'll work away at transforming this unconsciousness into consciousness. And consciousness and love, same thing as I see it. And some people get, a lot of unconsciousness to work with, and other people get, not a huge amount. And we just spend our lives just beaming and shining on this thing and helping to transform it into consciousness. And I always feel like I'm right on the edge of that. I'm right up against my unconsciousness. So it doesn't matter how much how conscious I become, I'm still at the coalface of that transforming process.
You'd say that's your life work, and that's what you're.
Well, it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like, that's what seems to be happening. It's more of an observation, um, as I see it, like with myself and with other people. I mean, with other people, it's always from the outside, so I don't really know what's going on. But certainly from myself, yeah, that's what it feels like is going on. But I don't feel like I have to, like the idea of work. Um, yeah, it does. It feels like whether I did it or not, it would still go on. Like whether I was consciously, yes, I'm definitely going to work away at my consciousness, or no, I'm going to have a little holiday from it. I mean, sometimes I get exasperated by it and go, God, is there no holidays in the spiritual life? It's relentless. And in a way, there isn't. It just goes on. But I'm quite easy in it, in that I know that whether I think I'm engaged with it or not, it's still going on. So I keep coming back to the baby thing. The baby's not doing any work. It's just being.
I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but really quickly. So, sort of the way you describe it is like we're all like oysters, like on the bottom of the ocean, and whether what we're conscious or not, we're filtering out the junk. We're filtering. So our consciousness is here as a filter to filter through something that's from a higher place or the unconscious, like whether or not we're conscious of it, we're still doing it.
No, I don't see it like that. I see it almost as alchemical, that unconsciousness is like I'm saying ice because it's easy to kind of understand ice turning back into water, but I don't really think it's like ice. Instead of ice, it feels like denseness. I mean, like for me, if I've come across unconsciousness either in myself or other people, it always has that very thick, heavy kind of quality, very you know, dark, murky, all this stuff. And then it doesn't disappear. It it transmutes. It's like, if there was this much unconsciousness, and let's say from here back was like, to infinity of consciousness, at this edge, as it transmutes, it's like there's a little bit less unconsciousness and a little bit more consciousness. That's what it feels like. It's like it's transmuting. That's what I meant about it being an alchemical. It feels like an alchemical kind of process. It's transmuting unconsciousness, and in its place, there's more consciousness, because that's certainly the way it feels inside me. Um, because yeah, the idea of filtering doesn't. Yeah, no, that doesn't resonate with me.
Well, you're saying, but we're doing it whether or not we're consciously doing it. We are. That is our
It's
job in
it's
life.
it's happening. Yeah, yeah. So being actively engaged with it in your life, it, even though it can be very difficult, and you can have the kind of feelings that you talked about at the beginning of feeling dislocated and connected and out of place, and why does nobody else get this stuff? That those are not pleasant feelings. I know them very well. um, but given a choice, I would rather this, uh, because I know I've been around people who are not engaged in this kind of thing, and it looks to me like it's all catches up with them.